Okay, let's check this video out. CS just changed forever. One day, 100k views, dude. Penguin been absolutely popping off, dude. Shout out to this guy.
Aquarius on Twitter has kind of been the Counter-Strike messiah
Aquarius.
recently. One of the few who have the pedigree and dark knowledge to be able to read the cursed scriptures.
Okay,
By that I mean he knows how to data mine the game. Anyways, the latest thing that's been revealed through his data mining is that Counter-Strike will be removing the long match versus short match distinction and switching to MR12 for matchmaking and presumably competitive play as well. What does that mean? Well, a full game of Counter-Strike as of right now is MR15, and short matches are MR8. MR stands for max rounds, and in this context, it just means
MR stands for Mister. Dude, I don't know about this change, man. I don't know about this change. I enjoy 30 rounds, dude. Aquarius is one of the Oni's main protagonists during CS2 baiting, I think. Really? Oh.
Means the maximum amount of rounds per half. When I first heard this rumor, I immediately didn't like the idea. Counter-Strike is MR15. Our game has been like this for 2 decades at this point. But then I got to thinking, and I actually want to make this video in defense of at least giving MR12 a shot. This video is brought to you by SkinsMonkey, a site where
Hey, good for this guy. I got a nice little sponsor as well. Good fucking shit. But before we continue, this video is sponsored by Clash.gg, a website that offers many different game modes, has free daily rewards, and many more. There are many ways you can cash out and deposit. By using code PROP, you will receive rakeback awards and 5% deposit bonus. The links will be in the description below. Yeah, dude, this fucking MR12. I guess it makes sense nowadays, dude. Because like it's like all these fucking ADHD Andes, dude, can't fucking play for 5 rounds more, so they make it shorter games, and shorter games equals they'll play more games type beat. I don't know. It's a little adaptation to Valorant, because I'm pretty sure Valorant has this shit as well, but I don't know, man. I guess, again, you just get fucking used to this shit. Play like for a month, you'll already be hooked, man. Dead ass. Short matches were the best addition to CS in 5 years. Yeah, but honestly, I've never really enjoyed short matches, personally. Short matches are way shorter than a MR12 or 13 or whatever it is, but I just don't get, like, involved into the game as much. I feel like I'm not trying enough in the game. It feels like I'm just kind of like wasting time away. Whenever I play short matches, I just feel like it ends too early, honestly. I don't have time to get fully involved into the game and it's already over, so I'm not a big fan of that shit.
The arguments that I see in favor of MR15 are, for instance, the Boston Major Final comeback would not have happened if it was on MR12. And that is obviously true. However, this kind of argument falls apart when you realize the same could be applied to argue for MR18 over MR15. How many more comebacks would have happened if we had those extra few rounds in every game? Probably not many, but at least 1 or 2. Does the existence of those 1 or 2 comebacks justify extending every blowout by another 10 minutes? In my book, no. The argument between MR15 and MR12 is not about something as transparent as whether or not you want more Counter-Strike or less Counter-Strike. It's about achieving proper balance between the economy, the maps, and time management. So let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of both MR12 and MR15 under these 3 lenses. When it comes to the balance of the economy as it stands right now, the economy is built for MR15. However, if tweaked a bit to lessen the impact of pistol rounds, MR12 could be just as viable, and I don't think anyone is—
Yo, what's up, Maiden? Yeah, economy, bro. Yeah, they'll have to change that shit instantly as well, man. I wonder— Damn, bro, that's like such a massive hole.
Is really debating that. The real interesting arguments here come when we look at the more radical proposals to changes in format. For instance, I remember a few years ago, some people advocating, or at least trying to open discourse about the elimination of pistol rounds entirely, starting every map with the economy of a full gun round. Pistol rounds are the most random part of Counter-Strike. They determine so much about how a game will go, and oftentimes the team that wins more pistol rounds in a series will come out as the victor due to having the economy advantage in early parts of the half. Is it really fair that the most random rounds in Counter-Strike determine so much? I say—
Oh yeah, we should starting balance $5,000. Bro, what? Who the fuck was saying that? I wish he showed examples. There's no shot any like competent person in the esports scene ever said that.
Yes, because while pistol rounds are in fact more random than gun rounds, they are certainly not a coin flip.
I love pistol rounds. It's like one of my favorite parts of CS.
Players that are pistol round specialists are rewarded because of how valuable they are to teams on these pivotal rounds. Plus, pistol rounds highlight the importance of the economy in CS, and economy is one of the things that makes our game stand out from the rest. It adds another layer of strategic depth. The argument for removing pistol rounds is that it would distill the game to a more pure form of Counter-Strike, but in my mind at least, pistols are integral to the identity of our game, and removing them would lose us more in identity than it adds in competitiveness.
Yeah, it's like a foundation.
So let's keep pistol rounds, but if we tweak the economy so as pretty much no matter what both teams have a full buy on the third round, then MR12 becomes viable once again with the economy altered as such. A way to do this is to take the short match approach, as in start both teams with a certain amount of loss bonus, so if you lose the pistol, even if you half buy on the second round as most teams do nowadays, you can get a full buy off in the third. So with the economy in mind, both systems can work, but if the eco stays as it is now, of course MR15 will be more fair, because the system is built for MR15. The second point that I brought up is map balance. This point and the previous point about economy are directly intertwined in a lot of ways. However, another way that MR12 impacts map balance is if MR12 is made official, we could effectively eliminate best of ones from professional play, incentivizing professional teams to broaden their map pool and become better at Counter-Strike as a game rather than one-tricking a map. The upsets at the last two majors, mainly best of ones, caused a lot of great teams that flourish in front of the crowd to fall early, and as such, a lackluster playoffs.
I like best of ones
are a lot more upset prone than best of threes. In this way, MR12 can actually make CS more competitive. And finally, let's talk about time management.
Dude, best of ones are fun as fuck, dude. It's like you have one chance, you blow it, you're gone. I don't know, man. Best of threes is more like you fuck around and you find out. I don't know. I like both. I like both best of ones, best of threes. Getting rid of best of ones would kind of suck, though. I don't know. Sometimes it's more fun watching just one little game. I feel like the build up to the big stage, like having BO1s like start of the tournament and then advance to BO3s, that's like the most fun part, man. Even though it does like do a lot of upsets, man. So, yeah.
This is the biggest thing in my opinion. Earlier, I mentioned how with MR12 we would lose a lot of great comebacks, and yeah, that's absolutely true. That's definitely a drawback. True, man. The intensity of MR15 is something that it definitely has on its side, but we do also have to realize that when we think of this, we only think of the super close bangers. And for every incredibly close series, there are 10 blowouts that could have been over 10 minutes earlier. Remember, in MR12, the first team to reach 13 points is the winner. I collected some data from the recently concluded IEM alone. In 67 of the 74 maps played, the team to reach 13 points first would end up the victor. That is over 90% of games. Of the 13 maps played in the playoffs, how many do you think would have had a different victor if we were playing first to 13 rather than first to 16? The answer is not 3, not 2, but 0 maps would have ended differently. The entire Cologne playoffs would have carried on exactly as it did now if we were playing MR12.
Really?
Something that people don't talk about when it comes to this debate is why we settled on MR15 in the first place. You would assume that it was some long, drawn-out testing period where we discovered that MR15 is just the optimal format for professional play. But no, that's not true. Before 2004, Counter-Strike pro games were played on MR12. The reason that CS switched to MR15 was, well, for a variety of reasons.
Really?
Before 2004, Counter-Strike pro games were played on MR12.
Wait, you're telling me the first ever game, you know, that fucking game where it's like USA against EU was also MR12 or something? 11 years ago. Holy smokes, dude. I remember watching this for the first time ever. Yo, the song, the nostalgia.
I think we're live here. This is going to be the taser round. So usually we'll have a knife round to get
my
starts on which
God.
team. This time we decide, screw it, there's a taser in the game. We're going to have a taser round. Ow, that hurt my ears. So each player is going to have a taser. It's actually a single shot weapon. So if you miss, you're going to have to rely on the knife. The
each player? Where do all of them have it? Look at this small little radar as well. Okay, let's skip to the end. Wait, what, 6-7? They play a short match or something? Oh my God, the old Scar.
To move in, that bomb is planted. Still 3-on-2 advantage for the Europeans. Nothing going down very, very low. It's now all on Storm in this CT spawn. He does throw the grenade out, but there are two right in front of him here. He'll try to spray.
Oh my God.
No, surely will be taken down. Trace will get it, and that will be good games called.
8-6. They didn't even play a MR12. They'll just play the fucking short match. Didn't he say 2003 though? Wait.
Before 2004, Counter-Strike pro games were played on MR12.
Oh my God, 2004. So he's actually talking about fucking 1.6. I see. What happened though? How did we get to fucking MR15 though? What the fuck?
The reason that CS switched to MR15 was, well, for a variety of reasons, laid out in an article released by the vice president of ESL, Trevor Schmidt, in 2004. In this article, he advocated for a 90-second round time with MR15. This did not end up happening, as most agreed that 90 seconds was too short for a round. Later that year though, in September, CPL changed their format to MR15 with 105-second rounds and 15-second freeze time, essentially setting the standard and coming close to what we have today. The interesting thing is that the initial arguments for MR15 cited that it would reduce the randomness of CS, allow games to finish faster due to a lower round time, and force teams to arrive to events more prepared. This was before best of threes became common at most tournaments, so MR15 absolutely did do this. But now the change back to MR12 could realistically offer the same benefits, because you could essentially eliminate best of ones in top-level Counter-Strike. The initial format discussions for CS are interesting, and I just wanted to highlight one more thing. A format called Chargers Only that was used by some very old European CS leagues. In Chargers Only, there is a fixed amount of time per half, typically 20 minutes. The twist is, only rounds won by the terrorists count. It's essentially Counter-Strike Rush mode, an incredibly fast-paced twist on our game. The drawback is that in practice, CTs ended up camping out most rounds, just waiting out the time, trying to make the Ts waste as much of their limited half as possible. But yeah, Chargers Only is really cool and should be brought back for a show match at some point. It's not even necessarily just rushes, because the important part is winning the round. How fast you do it is a close second. It would be cool to see teams strike a balance between winning strategies and time efficiency. It adds an entire new dimension to fake executes, where the CTs will doubt that an execute is fake, seeing as the Ts only have a limited amount of time in the half. But for the Ts, is it even worth it to sacrifice those extra 20 seconds or so to get the extra point? Alright, that rant's over. Back to the regular video.
But didn't it say like 20 minutes? Or am I getting like fucking zoned out there again? I haven't slept for ever.
Rushes. Yeah, Chargers Only is really cool and should be brought back for a show match. The initial format, in Chargers Only, there is a fixed amount of time per half, typically 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes a half. Oh, a half, not a round. Oh, interesting. And then you just play like, I guess, unlimited rounds, and I guess whoever gets the most rounds in those 20 minutes gets the dubski or what? Wait.
The twist is, only rounds won by the terrorists count. It's
what the hell? Oh, and then it like switches sides and then you're a terrorist again. 20-minute rounds, yeah, almost gonna be fucked up, dude. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's a cool little game mode, I guess.
It's essentially Counter-Strike Rush. Alright, that rant's over. Back to the regular video. MR15 is great, but MR15 can take a long time to get over with. The point of this video isn't that MR12 is just 100% better. It's to open up discourse a little more and show that it isn't necessarily all bad. The reality is, if Counter-Strike switches to MR12, not a lot changes. It's still Counter-Strike. We don't lose a lot from giving MR12 a fair try, there's a chance that it elevates our game to a new level. That is, if they implement it correctly. I like this change because it shows that Valve at least has enough dog in them to try some things that are going to be a bit unpopular. I'm here for testing. Let's dip our toes into the cold water and trust the process for a bit. There's no sense in writing off something that we haven't even tried.
Hey man, that was a good video. MR motherfucking 12. Fuck it, dude. Send it. I'll try it out. I'll probably like it as well. Why the fuck not? Although I'm kind of surprised if they're like thinking of actually adding it, I'm surprised they didn't add it to the beta, right? And the official little games that we can play, or the people that have access to CS2 can play. Yeah, I guess they're not showing a lot of things in the beta.